How's everybody doing? Philip Lied, live your dreams every day. I wanted to take a minute to just answer a question that's been on my heart lately. And it goes into what is it that me and Melissa actually do. Some of you guys have probably already seen that we post different blogs and videos and things like that, and it's all fun and games. But the topic that I want to talk about in answering this question is, what is our business in our marriage? Okay, and I know that's a two-part question, so I'll keep it as short as I can. What I mean by that is that after the idealism or the romanticism of your relationship, there's actual work to be done. Okay, you have to play on one another's strengths. Hopefully, this is something that you guys have discussed and even planned out prior to you getting committed or even married in that respect. But if not, now is the perfect time to make that decision to improve upon your relationship with your significant other. Now, the first thing we want to do is have a clear vision as to what we're in this relationship for. I know this sounds more technically sound from a business standpoint, and while we do have a business background, it also applies in this respect in a personal relationship. Meaning, why did you marry that person? Simply you saying that you love that person really isn't enough. Love is subjective based off of your level of consciousness or your spiritual growth at that time. Like we've discussed over and over again, me and Melissa weren't necessarily in love when we first got together, but something about the other person led us to believe that that person was the right one for us. Okay, we had to grow into our marriage, and we had to grow and acknowledge the fact that yes, marriage and family is an actual business. I mean, you have expenses, you have credits, you have debits, and at the heart of it all is it worth it? I personally think it is, good or bad. I mean, we just had a disagreement this morning, and while we don't always see eye to eye, we have to, in our relationship as leaders of our household, get outside of ourselves, get over ourselves, so to speak. And we've talked about this also in terms of it being part of the ego. But what we want to talk to you about is after the vows, what happens? If your strengths are, well, for one, let me just say this. Neither one of you should be trying to do everything in a relationship. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I sure as hell can't nurse the children. Melissa's better at multitasking, whereas I'm better at being a little bit more focused in terms of doing things in succession, if you know what I'm talking about. Your intentions have to align and match up with what your plan is. And you have to have such a focus to where ultimately you know why you're doing it. That's why they say even in business, you have to take calculated risk. What we simply do is we share our stories so that your learning curves can be a whole lot shorter in the process. When you have family, you have to discuss that. That needs to be something that's discussed earlier on. I mean, if, say for instance, you're committed to a guy, you're committed to a female who does not want children, then that needs to be known up front. It does not need to be a process in which you guys are expecting or one person is leading the other person on. That's very selfish. And defining the roles in a relationship does not mean it's gender specific. The traditional nuclear family is almost extinct. And while we sit here and we think that that's what we want, oftentimes it's our behavior and our actions towards one another that often show otherwise. For instance, me and Melissa are now getting to know each other enough to where I know that she has certain strengths that I don't. She has certain initiatives and certain drives that I don't. I simply just don't care for certain things, And I think by acknowledging that and being comfortable within myself in order to do that, it's able to help me not only have a better relationship with her and the boys, but also have better interpersonal relationships with other people. So with that being said, one of the reasons why we talk about the business of marriage is because also everybody has a story to tell. You know, I would highly encourage or suggest that you guys take a close look at the fact that your story with your spouse or significant other is very important. You know, me and Melissa can talk our stories all day, but it also helps the process and helps the healing process if you all were to share your stories as well. So that's my time, and that's another topic for another day. But this is Philip Lyde. Live your dreams every day. Look forward to talking to you. Peace.